Hombre, how do you propose to halt the unending stream of illegal immigrants entering the United States?
Well, first, I think that we need to secure our borders, and I think it's for more than just illegal immigration. I believe it's a national security issue. I mean, obviously, if somebody could cross our border just because they're looking for a better way of life, then then we've got people that want to do our nation harm that could just as easily get across. Let's just break this down and let's be honest. If you and I were in another country and we had watched our parents and our grandparents die in a field working for $5 a month, and you could pretty easily get to a border and get into a country like America and make a better life for yourself, you'd probably try it. It's just survival, isn't it? And so, I think we have to be careful not to villainize survival. But you can't reward illegal activity. I'm completely against amnesty. I believe we do have to do something about illegal immigration. The first thing is, I think that we need to make it easier for people to come into the country legally. When I say easier, I don't mean just everybody come in. Let criminals or whoever come in. I believe that there's sponsorship programs and different things. If it's true that, in the past that we needed people to do different jobs, I think that's probably coming to an end. I think it's getting to the point where Americans are willing to do some of these jobs that we said that we weren't willing to do. But, we can, create a program to make it easier. Number two, I do believe we need to create an avenue, a process for those that are here illegally, 30 plus million people, to become citizens. Now, when I say a process, I mean, there should be a penalty for the law that they broke, and then a sacrifice that they have to pay if they want to become legal citizens. If they don't want to do that, pay that penalty, and go through the process, then I think that they need to be shipped home. And one of those things, I do believe that they need to pass the citizen test in English.
Given the 18th District's resources, what methods of generating electricity will you support the federal funding of? Wind, solar, hydro, coal, natural gas, or nuclear? Explain why.
Well, I would support all of the above, but first and foremost, we need to understand here in the 18th Congressional District, we have decades worth of coal reserves. These lights that are on right now and the microphones, 89% of our electricity comes from coal. Some of the best jobs in the 18th Congressional District are related to that, jobs in coal mining, in manufacturing that comes from the electricity, from transportation and distribution. So we need to use all of the above. I tell people that I did reports on wind and solar when I was in 8th grade. If it was economically viable, we'd be using it on a large scale. It's not. So we need to be using the technology we have. We need to be using our resources first, the resources we have here that are available here. And we need to be looking at things like the power plant in Piketon. The nuclear energy plant there, that is jobs for this district. That is the wave of the future. That's what we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at our own energy sources, using all of the above, but we need to also get things like cap and trade off the table. This district cannot afford a representative who votes for cap and trade in committee and on the floor of the House and takes $14,000 from Nancy Pelosi within hours of that vote. We need a representative who understands first and foremost we need jobs to feed our families, to provide for our children and our grandchildren, and we need an approach that uses all of the above.
What is your opinion regarding the current administration's apparent desire to take care of every U.S. citizen as well as non-citizens trailing together?
I think your simple answer is ridiculous. There's so many things that the founding fathers mentioned, healthcare wasn't one of them. last time I checked. And I think it's not possible, and it's also not right or constitutional, morally or by our rule of law, the Constitution, to force Americans to take regardless of their choice and not give them the free will to choose what they want. Obviously, this is going to be much more expensive than the $900+ billion that they laid out. Every federal program always costs more. We need the right to choose whether we want health insurance or not. It's not the government's right to try and hire thousands of more IRS agents to take away people's tax returns or investments. And we still need to open up competition between the insurance companies so to actually lower the rates. But no, we need to get the federal government, whether it's Republican or Democrat, out of our lives.
Dave, are you in favor of offshore drilling for natural gas and oil that will lessen our dependency on Middle East resources?
Well, I go clear back to when gasoline was 25 cents a gallon. Anybody ever remember that? I think one of the problems that you see going on in America, the answer to the question is yes. I believe drill is certainly the solution to the problem. And again, it's all connected, folks, as far as the government trying to be in control of every aspect of our life. Fuel prices are getting ready to go up again, but I think there's another dynamic that's at work here that we need to understand. Fuel prices are not going up as much as the value of the dollar is going down. We are in terrible financial situation in America. If they continue to raise energy prices, especially as we move into the summer, then they're going to try to get us into a scare tactic to stop driving, all that more control of every aspect of our lives. We do know this, don't we, folks? That there are about 28 states right now who are technically broke. Our schools are broke. Our cities are broke. We've always been able to go to the federal government to bail us out. That no longer exists. And that we are fighting for the very survival, I believe, of the American way of life, the American dollar. I believe that all of that is under attack. And I said the other night, and again somebody said that I was a little bit radical. I believe that this is a war that we are in for the American way of life. We are in a war for the American way of life. And our weapons are voting and our activity, getting out and getting active and telling other people the greatest weapon we have is information. How many of you have been awakened in the last year, in the last 16 months? How many are finally beginning to see what's going on? We have a very short window of time to rescue this nation, folks. It's more than energy. The problems are varied, and we need some honesty with ourselves and honesty